Okay. Good morning, students. So today we start this topic, which is load carrying capacity of piles, right? So the ultimate load carrying capacity, or the ultimate bearing capacity, or the ultimate bearing resistance of pile, which is known as or denoted as a QU, is the maximum load which it can be carried without failure or excessive settlement of the ground. So allowable load, denoted as a QA, right, on the pile is the safe load which the pile can carry safely, and it is determined as this equation, which is allowable load is equal to ultimate load divided by factor of safety. So the bearing capacity of pile mainly depends on the type of soil, method of installation, length of pile, and cross section of pile. So this pile transfer to the load to the soil is in the two ways. First one is end bearing or bearing, and second one is a skin friction. So the resistance offered by a soil at the end or tip of the pile is termed as end bearing or point bearing. So if the strata through which pile is driven are weak, so the tip resting on a hard bearing transfers most part of the load by ending of the bearing. So the pile is then said to be an end bearing pile. The shear resistance on the surface of the pile then is termed as a skin friction. So piles in a homogeneous soils transfer the great part of their load by the skin friction and are called friction piles. So nearly all types of piles develop both end bearings and skin friction. So the load carrying capacity of a pile can be determined by the following methods, which is the static formula, dynamic formula, pile load test, penetration test, etc. Right? So talking about the static formula, so in static analysis, the ultimate bearing capacity of pile is considered to be sum of the end bearing resistance and the resistance due to skin friction. So that the equation is QU is equal to QP plus QS, where QU is equal to the ultimate bearing load of the pile, QP is equal to end bearing resistance or point resistance, QS is a skin friction resistance, right? So here point resistance, which is QP, is equal to small qp multiplied by AP. So in this term, small qp denoted as a unit end bearing resistance of the pile, right? AP is equal to area of base. QS is equal to Fs into As. Fs is a unit skin friction, and As is equal to surface area of the pile in contact in contact with soil, right? So static analysis for piles driven in sand, equation is QU is equal to QP plus QS. But I mentioned the before this equations in the above topic, we see the QP equation and QS equation. So put both the values in this equation. So finally, for determining QP and QS, it is necessary to determine the small QP and the FS. So the values of QP and FS may be determined for the following methods. So first method is a method for determination of QP. All right. So ultimate bearing capacity of soil at the tip of the pile can be determined from the bearing capacity equation, similar to that for the shallow foundation, as we discussed in the previous chapter. Right. So for the strip footing, the equations of small qp is equal to CNC plus gamma d NQ plus 0.5 gamma b n gamma. So for piles in sand, there is a zero cohesion, right? So put C is equal to 0 in the above equation, and our final equation QP is equal to gamma D NQ plus 0.5 gamma B N gamma, right? So here small q is equal to gamma into D, so that for the square and rectangular piles in the sand, the equation of QP is equal to gamma D NQ plus 0.4 gamma B N gamma. And for the circular piles in sand, small qp equation is gamma d NQ plus 0.3 gamma b n gamma. So here there are description of this notations, which is a gamma into d is equal to small q, and small q is a surcharge pressure at the tip of the pile. Gamma is a unit weight of soil, d is equal to width of pile, d is equal to depth of length of pile, and nq and n gamma both are the bearing capacity factors for the deep foundation. So in the driven piles, the second term and the equation of 3.5 and 3.6 is generally small and therefore neglected. So our final equation of QP is equal to Q and Q when small q is equal to gamma into D. So put this value in this equation. So our final equation of QP is equal to gamma into D into NQ. So in case of driven piles, it has been established that the surcharge pressure small q at the tip of the pile uh, increases with the depth only up to the certain depth of penetration, which is known as a critical depth, denoted as a DC. And below the critical depth, the surcharge pressure remains constant. So the equation of Q is equal to gamma into D, where in case depth is less than critical depth. And when the depth is greater than critical depth, then the equation of Q is equal to gamma into DC. Right? D is equal to embedded length of pile and DC is equal to critical depth. So basically critical depth depends on the angle of internal friction, which is phi of the soil, and the width of the pile. So the value of DC can be roughly taken as you can see in this figure. There are bearing capacity factor and angle of shearing resistance phi dash are given. So bearing capacity factor NQ is for piles in a sand. So there are different right. So here Tezagi's curve is given, right? Here the Hansen and Meyerhof is also given. So it is this chart is basically a bearing capacity factor versus angle of shearing resistance, and depends on this both value. We finally finding out the value of DC, which is a critical depth. So for 15 B for loose sand, phi less than 30 degree, and phi greater than 40 degree, then it's for dense sand 20 B. So it is described in IS 2911 part 1 section 1 2010. So the bearing factor capacity NQ, which is mainly depends on the angle of internal friction phi of the soil. So the various investigators have been given different expression for the NQ, which is based on the theoretical analysis. So figure shows the value of NQ given by the different investigators and given by IS 2911. So the values given by Brisons are quite dependable and are generally used. So if the pile diameter is relatively large, the second term of equation 3.5 and 3.6 becomes significant and cannot be neglected. So the value of n gamma can be conservatively taken as a n gamma value used for the shallow foundation in the previous chapter. So here's Meyerhoff's methods of determining QP. So QP of the soil generally increases with the depth of embedded is bearing stratum. So it reaches the maximum value at the embedded ratio, which is dB by B, right? So here Meyerhoff bearing capacity factor NQ for piles in sands are given. So it is a homogeneous soil. dB is equal to the actual left D of the pile. But for the pile which has a penetrated into a bearing stratum for a small length, dB is less than D. So beyond the critical value of the dB by B ratio, value of QP remains constant and equal to the limiting value, which is the QT. So the critical ratio dB by B mainly depends on the angle of internal friction phi of the soil, as you can see in the figure. So once the value of dB by B has been determined, the following procedures is used to determine QP. The first one is to determine actual dB by B ratio for the pile, and second is determine NQ for dB by B ratio from the above figure. So the value of NQ increases linearly with dB by B ratio and reaches a maximum value at dB by B is equal to 1/2 dB by B. So third one is determine the point resistance QP, as QP is equal to QP small QP into AP, and a small QP equation is a small q into NQ. The second method for determining Fs is a frictional resistance. QS is given by QS is equal to Fs into AS. So Fs is basically a unit skin friction. So soil pressure normal to the vertical pile surface is a horizontal pressure sigma h is related to the effective vertical soil pressure, which is sigma h is equal to k into sigma bar b. So k is equal to earth pressure coefficient and sigma bar b is equal to effective vertical pressure at the depth of from the figure. This right. So tan theta is equal to v short of call is the theta, right? So tan theta is equal to fs divided by sigma h. Now fs is equal to sigma h into tan theta, where the we put the value of sigma h in this equation. So our final equation of fs is equal to k into sigma bar b into tan theta. So theta is the angle of wall friction between the sand and the pile material. So angle of wall friction depends on the materials of piles and condition of its surface. So Tomlinson in 1975 gave the values of this theta and k as given in the table, which is based on the studies carried by Broms in 1966. Right. So for steel, the delta is equal to 20 degree. For loose sand, k is equal to 0.50 and dense sand is a 1. For concrete, theta is equal to 0.755. For loose sand, 1 and dense sand is a 2. And the value of timber for theta is equal to 0.675. K is equal to 1.50 and K for dense sand is 4, right? So in general, the value of theta generally varies between 0.55 to 0.85. So most of the cases, value of K varies between 0.6 to 1.25. So Mayer Hoff recommend that the value of K can be taken as 0.5 for the loose land and 1.0 for the dense sand. Right. So according to the code, the value of theta may be equal to 5. The value of k may be taken between 1 and 3. And for piles given in a loose sand, and between 2 and 5 for piles given in a dense sand. So frictional resistance can be expressed as Qs is equal to sigma k sigma v bar I tan theta into As into Y, right? Where n is equal to number of layers in the pile is installed. Sigma v bar is equal to effective vertical pressure. Say As is equal to surface area of pile. So this equation can be written as Qs is equal to sigma k tan theta into area of sigma v bar diagram multiplied by pile perimeter. So the ultimate load for pile is given by Qu is equal to Qp plus Qs. So Qu equation is Qp AP plus FSAS, right? Next is a static analysis for a pile driven in a case. So load carrying capacity of driven piles in a saturated clay is given by Qu is equal to Qp plus Qs. So for point resistance, Qp is equal to small qp into AP. So Qp equation is CNC plus gamma D NQ plus 0.5 gamma B N gamma. And if it's a clay, then phi is equal to 0. And because of phi is equal to 0, n gamma is equal to 0 and nq is equal to 1 from our IS code 6403/1981. So final QP equation is CNC plus gamma D. So in the case, it is considered as compared to CNC, the value of gamma D is very small and it can be neglected. So QP equation is equal to CNC. So the capital QP is equal to CNC into AP. So talking about skin resistance, QS is equal to FSAS. Unit skin friction Fs is given by Fs is equal to Ca plus sigma h tan theta. So for piles in a clay, tan theta is equal to 0. So in that case, Fs is equal to Cs. Now what is the Cs? Cs is equal to a unit adhesion developed between the clay and the pile shaft. And Ca is equal to alpha into C. Alpha is equal to adhesion factor and C is equal to cohesion of soil. So therefore, Fs is equal to alpha C, right? So final equation of Qs is equal to alpha into C into As. Now talking about ultimate load bearing capacity of pile in a clay, equation of Qu is equal to CNCAP plus alpha CAS. Right? Now the value of alpha mainly depends on the consistency of the clay. So normally considered consolidated clays, the value of alpha is taken as a unity. So according to the IAS 2911/2010, the value of alpha can be taken as a unity for soils having a soft to very soft consistency. So the value of alpha depends upon the undrained shear strength of the soil. Softer the consistency of soil, greater the tendency for the soil to adhere to the pi, and the higher value of the alpha. So for very soft soils, alpha is nearly 1, and while for very stiff clays, alpha can be as low as 0.3. Right. So Tomlinson gives variation of alpha with a CU for driven piles in a clay, as you can see in this figure. Right. So there is a value of reduction factor alpha value is basically depends on its consistency. Right. So depends on the consistency. There is a different values for N values, board piles, and driven cast and situ piles. So consistency is like soft to very soft, medium, stiff to hard. Next is our negative skin friction. So when the soil layers surrounding a portion of a pile shaft settles more than the pile, a downward drag is exerted on the pile. So which is known as a negative skin friction. The negative skin friction develops when a soft or a loose soil surrounding the pile settles after the pile has been installed. So the negative skin frictions occurs in the soil zone, which moves the downward relative to the pile. So because of that, because of this negative skin friction, extra downward loads is imposed on the pile. So it reduces the load carrying capacity of the pile. As you can see in this figure, this pile is exerted driven into the bottom part. So because of this downward direction, driven in downward direction, there are some upward reactions are also developed, which is known as a negative skin friction. Right. So magnitude of the negative skin friction QNF computed for the cohesive soil, the equation of QNF is equal to P into C into LF, where QNF is equal to negative skin friction, P is equal to perimeter of pile, and C is equal to cohesion of soil, and LF is equal to length of the loose soil. So this negative skin friction basically occurs in a compressible soil, soft and loose soil, recently filled up soil, and lowering of water table. So for cohesionless soil, the equation of QNF is equal to 1/2 P LF square gamma K tan theta, where P is equal to perimeter of pile, LF is the length of a loose of soil, gamma is equal to unit weight of soil, and K is equal to coefficient of earth pressure, and delta is equal to angle of wall friction. So it is necessary to subtract this negative skin friction force from the ultimate bearing load, obtain the net ultimate load bearing capacity of the pile. So QU dash is equal to QU minus QNF. So QU dash is equal to net ultimate load, QU is equal to ultimate bearing load, QNF is equal to negative skin friction force. So it is anticipated that the negative skin friction would impose undesirable large downward drag on a pile, and it can be eliminated by providing a protective sleeve or smooth coating for the section which is surrounded by the settling soil.